My name is Jack Harper. I was 48, standing in a dark hallway at the police station, staring at my hands while someone coughed and swore in the next cell. The cuffs were tight. The desk officer read it off like a menu. Grand theft. Suspicion of complicity. I ran logistics at Kingston Freight, our river town's big warehouse. I knew one thing for sure: I'd been set up. Lawyer? I asked. In the morning, he said. Sit. The door shut. I sat on the hard bench and replayed the last 2 days. A dock camera showed a truck leaving with $200,000 in power tools. On the footage, me. My jacket, my posture, my walk. Clean. Except I'd been home that night replacing a thermostat because the heat died. My son, Evan, held the flashlight. I had the receipt. I had a text argument with my ex at the same time. The cops said one thing. The video shows you. I'm not a hero. I'm a former mechanic and a Marine veteran with no medals to brag about. 20 years building a life. After the divorce, it was just me and Evan in a small house. I knew every crack in the asphalt from the warehouse to the pier. I knew how the scale lied when it was cold. I knew which drivers hustled and which padded gas. A few months back, a new security contractor showed up, Iron Sentry. Armored SUVs, buzz cuts, hard faces. And a new operations director, Derek Collins. Smooth, expensive watch, a salesman's smile. He came in with a plan. Optimize routes. Centralize video. No side deals. Fine by me. I followed rules. Then 2 weeks before the theft, they started pushing me to take nights off. Rest up, Jack. Don't check the graveyard. I refused. On Monday, the warehouse owner, Old Man Kingston, called me in. Camera stills on the desk, me badging into the dock area at 12:42 a.m., me signing a bill of lading. Me by a white freightliner as the bay door rolled up and the truck eased out. That you? Kingston asked. On the video, yes. In real life, no. Derek says it's your badge. Logs match. My badge is on me. I was home. My phone had thermostat photos, receipts, messages with Evan. Kingston looked, didn't shrug. Cameras win. An hour later, Iron Sentry marched me into the station. I spent the night in a cell. In the morning, a public defender with a tired briefcase told me to keep quiet. The judge let me out on bond. It was gray and wet outside. Evan waited on the lot, skinny with a backpack and shadows under his eyes. Dad, he said. Everyone at school knows. Let's go home. I drove in silence while he dozed. Towns like ours don't forget news. If I did nothing, we'd lose everything. I started simple. I checked my badge. HR said it made 6 entries that night in different zones. Impossible. 2 of those points were 200 yards apart with cameras between them. Someone cloned the card. Iron Sentry's new system allowed remote access and dropping temporary tokens on test cards. Not in the official docs, but a text slipped on a smoke break. Next, gate logs. License plate reader and truck RFID at the gate claimed a white freightliner tagged to our driver Tim Reddy. Tim's my friend. We fished together. I called him. Tim, where were you that night? Across the state. I can send my Google timeline. What's up? We met at a highway diner. He slid me his phone. Restaurant pings, gas charges, motel check-in. His truck sat under a motel camera from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. RFID? I asked. 2 weeks ago an Iron Sentry tech swapped my unit. Said the old one glitched. Put in a new block. I wrote it down. I went back to the warehouse in street clothes, told the guard I was grabbing office stuff. My desk was stripped. The server room was padlocked. In the hall I caught up with Maria, the quiet IT admin who kept the place alive. You know how to swap video feeds? I asked straight. In theory, she said. You'd need cloud admin keys. Derek or Iron Sentry level. Can you check logs? Not here. Tonight. Anywhere else. She sighed. After shift. The coffee shop on Washington Street. That night she handed me a flash drive. Access logs. Admin, logged in at 1 a.m., 2 hours before the theft. One internal IP, one external through a proxy. Maria said Iron Sentry liked testing systems at night. If I bring this to the police, I get fired, she said. You didn't hear my name. You didn't. The next day my phone rang. Calm male voice. Stop digging. Or your boy has problems. Who is this? Dead line. I did what any father does. Cheap dash cam, new locks, sheriff on speed dial. Then I kept going. There was one man I could trust, more or less, retired Detective Boyd Miller. He used to run port theft cases, then quit and became a PI. You look like a guy they're about to throw under the bus, he said, coffee and paper smell in his small office. I laid out the facts. He didn't interrupt. Then, this isn't one guard or one tech. It's a chain, inside man, contractor muscle, outside buyer. They cloned your badge, swapped a truck tag, pushed a deepfake feed. Classic. You need to prove the structure. Piece by piece. Take the easiest link first. Which one? RFID and truck location. Your driver's clean, so a duplicate tag exists. Get the swap list. Who okayed it? Then where the goods go. Shadow warehouses, fake repair shops, shell companies. I don't have access. You've got people. I've got cops. Move quiet. He slid me a key fob recorder. Don't play hero. Record everything. 2 days later someone hopped my fence and smashed the new camera. I heard the thud, ran out, street empty. A boot print on the gate, size 11. In the morning my mailbox was light. Bank showed a failed transfer for $5,000. I froze cards. Boyd called that night. Got a name. Iron Sentry runs temporary RFID checks through the gate foreman, Roy Kramer. Ex-military. Pretext, sensor verification. And there's Marcus Hale, one of Derek's managers. Ambitious. Seen with drivers who moonlight. Proof? Not yet. Need tape. One more thing, Kingston's rumored to sell the warehouse. Word is Derek lined up a buyer. Why? So he exits clean before it blows. Maria pinged me a screenshot. Admin. Logged in again, 1:15 a.m. I parked a block from the warehouse with lights off. Watched Marcus slip out a side door with a guy in a ball cap. They got into a black pickup and headed for the port. I called Boyd. We tailed from a distance to the far terminals, tin box rentals by other companies. No guards, no cameras. Marcus and his buddy opened a unit, moved big cartons to an unmarked box truck with paper temp plates. Boyd shot stills. We need the next stop, he whispered. If it's the river, it's a barge or a private dock. If it's overland, we'll find it on the highways. We followed them to an old commercial park outside town. The pickup stopped at a building labeled Power Tool Repair. Marcus handed a folder to a guy in a leather jacket. I moved closer, fob recording hot in my pocket. A big guard stood by the side door. Size 11 boots. Broken nose. 2 scars on his left cheek. I circled and walked him through the front like a customer. Service open? I asked the bored kid at the counter. Appointment only. Closed. On the desk lay bills of lading with familiar SKUs. Ours. I leaned in like I was looking for a business card and let the recorder run. Marcus walked out. He stopped, stared me down, smiled. Lost, Jack? Thought this was a repair shop, I said. Not for you, he said, stepping between me and the paperwork. Time to go home. I left. Boyd picked me up. He clocked you. Good. Maybe he slips. Next stop, money. I remembered Marcus sliding that folder. No dirty business flows without a bank trail. Our town had one clerk who hated Derek, Lenny at Riverbank. I brought 2 coffees. I can't show you anything, he said immediately. Bank secrecy. Fine. Listen. Iron Sentry runs fake RFID checks. Goods go out under scrap or disposal. A buyer shell, River Solutions LLC, set up 3 months ago by some offshore. If I'm wrong, stop me. He didn't stop me. If there are regular cash outs from Kingston Freight, or its vendors to River Solutions under safety audits or disposal, that's the wash. Then cash. Lenny's lips went thin. I can't show you. But I can say, there's a River Solutions. There are tranches. Signer isn't Derek. Another name, Collins Invest. Looks like a relative. And a pattern, $9,900 bursts. You know why. To dodge automatic reports. Right. Print anything? No names? No. But here's the structure. He sketched on a napkin, Kingston Freight Security Audit Contracts, Iron Sentry RFID Subcontracts, River Solutions LLC Disposal of Defective Goods, Cash/Resale. I pocketed the napkin. Not official, but it was a spine. Next morning I got a notice. Kingston Freight terminated me for cause and wanted damages. The work chat called me a thief. Evan stayed quiet, reading comments under the local news. We'll fix it, I said. But I need your help. What do I do? Plant this in my car. A tiny GPS tag. If they grab me, you'll see where I go. And when I tell you, call Boyd. Okay. That afternoon Derek called. Let's talk, Jack. Neutral ground. Lincoln Bar. 8 p.m. I won't be alone, I said. No theatrics. No theatrics. I got there early, sat deep in the back. Boyd watched the door. Derek arrived on the dot. Perfect suit, perfect mood. You're in deep, he said. Your name's in the logs. I can help. Resign. Take a small package. We don't push. And if I don't? You go down. You have a son. Think. You cloned my badge. I said. You swapped RFID. You moved product through River Solutions. He smiled. Prove it. I set the fob on the table. You just admitted you know River Solutions. I admitted nothing, he said, hitting stop. And now I have your illegal recording. I have a copy. Jack. He leaned in. You're a Marine. Be smart. Walk. He left. Boyd joined me. He's too confident. He's got cover, maybe at City Hall, maybe the sheriff's office. Feel it? I feel it. That evening Maria showed up at my door, pale. They forced me to hand over my admin login, she said. Said they're auditing. Today I found a mirror on the server, an injected module that swaps video. A backdoor. I pulled it. She held up a flash drive. Code, connection history, external IPs, timestamps. I made copies and sent one to Boyd. Now we had something real. One more thing, she said. Tonight they brought in a big load of defectives. They'll dispose of it at 2 a.m. If you film it, that's enough. Where? Dock 5 and the side terminal. Boyd and I set a plan. He'd sit high with a long lens. I'd hug the fence near Dock 5. Evan stayed home, watching my tag and ready to dial the sheriff if it went sideways. At 1:40 a.m., a gray unmarked box truck rolled up. 4 men in Iron Sentry jackets opened the bay. Roy Kramer flashed a card. Marcus stood beside him. They pushed pallets of boxes labeled disposal. 15 minutes later the black pickup arrived, the same gorilla with size 11 boots. You rolling? I whispered. Rolling, Boyd said. Faces times the pickup plate. I slid closer behind containers. Diesel and oil stung the air. Marcus talked on his phone. Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, disposal. Yeah, Collins signed. Yeah, River pays out tomorrow. I raised the fob and hit record. Metal clanged to my left. I turned. The big man stood 5 steps away. We stared for a beat. He came at me. No fantasy fight. I grabbed a scrap pry bar on the ground and slammed his knee. He dropped to one, growled. I ran, shoes skidding on wet concrete. He caught my jacket. Fabric tore. I twisted free and sprinted. Lights flickered overhead. I've got a tail, I breathed. Evan, be ready. The yard dead-ended. I cut between two stacks of containers. The big man barreled after me, breathing heavy. He raised a fist. I kept the pry bar low, waited for his step, then jammed it into his shin and shoved my weight through. He lost balance, crashed. I ran. A whistle shrieked, someone calling help. Two more shapes broke from the dark. Plan B, Boyd said in my ear. Gate 3. I'll block. I hit Gate 3, where the fence rotted. I climbed, ripping my jeans. Boots thundered behind me. I dropped to the side street and saw headlights. Boyd's car. I dove in. Highway? I asked. No. River Road, he said. There's a bridge ahead. Their trucks are too heavy for the back path. We drove dark on the curves. Distant beams flickered behind us. Evan, I said into the phone. Call the sheriff. Say, illegal removal from the warehouse, iron sentry involved, we have video, coordinates near Red Creek Bridge. Calling, he said. Dad, be careful. We parked near the bridge. Boyd lifted his phone, streaming. A few minutes later, two SUVs slid past and turned toward the private river terminal. Then the gray box truck. It backed onto a small dock. Two men started loading cartons onto a low barge. Got it, Boyd whispered. We have the set. When the patrol cars hit the dock, the place exploded. Siren. Roy tried to jump into an SUV, but a cruiser boxed him. Marcus froze white as chalk. Derek rolled up in a polished Land Rover, sure he had it handled. Then he saw me and knew his options were thin. This is a mistake, Derek shouted. We acted under contract. This is disposal. Disposal at 2 a.m., no paperwork, with swapped RFID? Boyd said, lifting the phone. Tell me again you didn't inject a backdoor into the video system. I didn't. He stopped when two deputies walked his scarred guard out in cuffs. The investigators did their jobs. I still didn't trust the system. At sunrise I went to Kingston. He looked old and beaten behind the desk. The sheriff has the evidence, I said. Maria gave us the server backups with the injected module. We've got the night disposal on tape. We have bank flows through River Solutions. The barge is full of our boxes. Your operations director ran the scheme. I didn't know, Kingston said. I thought they were tightening things up. They were. Into their pockets. What do you want, Jack? A public retraction. My job back. An official letter to the prosecutor clearing me. And everyone involved fired. No golden parachutes. He studied me. If it checks out, I'll sign. It will. That evening, while Evan and I ate pizza, glass popped. A rock through the window. I ran to the porch. The black pickup revved and vanished. Evan crouched under the table, pale. It's the last kick, I said. I checked the garage camera. Plate half-readable under grime. I sent it to Boyd. Cops found the truck an hour later at an old sawmill, abandoned. Phones inside. Spare plates. Roy Kramer's fingerprints. The hearing came quick. Our town doesn't like long sagas. Derek hired expensive lawyers. They went with legal disposal, night loading to avoid daytime traffic, and video out of context. I sat and waited. We put facts on the table. Maria testified about the backdoor. She walked through connection logs, timestamps, external IPs. She explained how the module loops a recorded segment over live feed. The screen showed me at the dock while the metadata didn't match server time. That nail sank. Boyd laid out the timeline, the commercial park meeting, the moves, plates, the barge loading, the police arrival. The court heard Marcus's voice on the recordings. Collins signed. River pays tomorrow. Derek's counsel yelled. Objection. But the judge let it in, part of documenting an ongoing crime. Tim testified his RFID was swapped without reason and showed his location history. 2 more drivers said Iron Sentry ran checks, off hours. The prosecutor, warrant in hand, brought bank statements, regular payments to River Solutions, broken into sub-$10K chunks, cashed out. The signer was Derek's brother, owner of Collins Invest. In Roy's truck they found stolen mail, including mine, bank cards, explaining the mailbox hits. Roy held out, then cracked. I did what I was told, he said. Marcus gave orders. Derek signed. I got paid. Marcus tried to sit quiet, but his voice and the port camera trail pinned him. Derek stared straight ahead, jaw clenched. When the judge ordered Derek, Marcus, and Roy into custody, dismissed the case against me, and demanded a public correction, Derek didn't look my way. Outside, Kingston came over. I signed reinstatement and compensation, he said. And I fired Iron Sentry. We're going back to a clean system without loopholes. Good, I said. Give Maria a raise. He nodded. On the courthouse steps, Boyd grinned. We did it. Don't assume it's over. Derek's friends won't like this. I know. A month later, Evan and I stood in the morning mist with rods on the river. He worked the reel and stayed quiet. You did it right, he said. I thought they'd break us. You didn't break. It's not heroics, I said. It's work. Step by step. My phone rang. Kingston. Jack, come in. We're redoing access control. No more surprises. I'll be there in an hour. I hung up and looked at the river. It kept moving. No speeches, no drama. Just work. I smiled. Time to go, kid. He nodded. We packed up and headed for the truck. Weeks later, an unknown number called. A man said, You went too far, Mr. Harper. You missed a detail. River Solutions isn't the main lane. There's another. The North Line. Been running for years. If you want sleep, stay out. Give me a name, I said. Dead line. I looked out my office window. New cameras on the lot. Maria walked me through the system, 2-factor on every access, logs mirrored to cold storage. Boyd dropped by for coffee and gossip. Kingston quit talking about selling. Business steadied. I wasn't hunting new enemies. But I remembered the rule I learned in the Marines and proved here. When they shove you, keep balance, collect facts, hit the system, not the person. People change. Systems don't. You clean them or they eat you. That night I checked on Evan. He was studying at his desk. Our fishing photo hung on the wall. I knocked and said, Audit tomorrow morning. Swing by after school. I need help with inventory. No problem, he said. I went to the kitchen, poured tea. The same unknown number texted. North Yard. Container A17. 2 a.m. My heart stayed steady. Not fear. Work. I deleted it and called Boyd. New episode? He said. Maybe, I said. No hero stuff. Quiet. By the book. By the book. He laughed. I set the phone down. Maria's old flash drive sat on the table. Next to it, the fob recorder. The order never changes. Prep, verify, record, hand off. No extra moves. No legends. Just facts that hit harder than fists. I killed the light and looked into the yard. Same as always, quiet, a wet fence, the hum of a distant highway. And the feeling that this time we wouldn't stumble alone in the dark. They know now, you frame a working man, you answer for it. No speeches. No grandstanding. Straight. Businesslike. Like a report. Like a court record. Like real life.